Hi, James. Welcome to the next episode of Sit Down on behalf of Social Gems. My name is Evelyn Uganda, aka Unapologetic Eve, and I'm representing Social Gems right here. And I'm sitting down with an influencer that many of you know, many of you may have heard of, and she uses not all her names here and there. And let me give her a chance to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Leinah, now Kenya. For those who don't know me, I think, popularly known as Chef to Be.
Chef to be.
Chef or chef?
Chef.
Chef to be.
Chef.
Chef. Chef to be for some good time. But then I decided to leave that. So now I'm Leinah Lu. So I'm Leinah now Kenya Luwega. I'm an influencer, a digital marketer, social media manager and specialist, a beauty, a body.
What's your? Let's go on.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be here. I'm part of the Social Gems team as well.
Social Gems team.
Yeah.
Yes, for anyone that is, asking, we are all proudly associated.
Period.
So why Social Gems?
I feel like as influencers in Uganda, because a lot of countries in Africa have started catching up with the Western world in terms of influencing.
Yeah.
But for Ugandans in particular, I feel as though we are missing that thing that really cements that influencing is a career.
Yeah,
You get
okay.
There are so many people you talk to and they'll really tell you, it's not that big of a deal, it's a side thing. But outside there, it's people are buying houses, mansions because of influencing.
Yeah.
So we need something that is going to cement and bridge that mentality that influencing is not a career, that influencers are not professionals and all that stuff. And I think without giving out too much information, because our baby is still in inception, I think that's exactly what Social Gems is aiming to do for influencers, and also to give brands people that we have also curated and seen that small or big following, they are all people who are passionate in their specific fields,
Okay.
and brands can trust the people on that platform and all that
And
stuff.
capable.
Yeah.
That takes me to a question. Do you think influencers in Uganda don't have a platform? Do you think they're scattered everywhere?
I think a lot of the influencing in Uganda is not intentional. I think even me myself, I'm not pointing fingers, because even me myself, I fell into the influencing world. I did not set out and say I'm going to focus on influencing and all those things. I landed into it. And honestly, I don't think that they lack a platform. I just think they're not intentional about it, including myself. You just find yourself being a sweetheart of a platform, you gain a following, and all of a sudden gigs are thrown, and you're like, oh, I can earn money in this. Okay, cool.
And then you start earning money from
but
it.
elsewhere, people are actually dedicating themselves and everything they have into it and learning the craft and all those things. So I guess we just need to cement it more that this is a lifestyle, it's a career, it's a profession, and all that.
And that is something Social Gems is going to be able to do.
Period.
I believe. So I wanted to ask, and I want to bring it out in the best way possible. Yeah. In your view, there are big brands and there are small brands. Yeah. And then there are big influencers and there are small influencers. So no matter the brand or the influencer, how do you think brands are benefiting from having these influencers do their thing? For example, Nyege Nyege is coming up. Yeah. So do you think they're going to benefit from having people making noise about whatever is going on, or is Nyege Nyege already established to have that?
I think there's a misconception, and I face this as well when I'm scouting, looking out for which brand I could pitch myself to.
Yeah.
I see a brand with a big following, I'm like, those guys have it all figured out. But that's not true. A project like Nyege Nyege, an event, as much as it has cemented itself as an enjoyment center and everything, it still needs influencers or people who have impact online, like a Tanya, who they need to keep pushing it, because you could be there chilling at work and you're watching a Tanya's story, for example, and you see that she's prepping for Nyege Nyege. You had no vibe to go, and now you're like, you know what? I remember the other 2 years I went, so let me try it, and then you talk to your group chat,
all of a sudden you're interested.
All of a sudden you're interested. So influencers are more than just a selling factor. Yeah.
Yes.
Influencers also put out a feeling. They send out a history of how something felt. The preparation that goes into what they're doing can influence us also. And when it comes to other brands, I'll tell you one thing. For example, me, one of the first brands that I influenced for, was MB Cosmetics.
MB Cosmetics.
And shout out to MB Cosmetics. I love her so much, Mary Ambassador. She has done an amazing job. She's an inspiration to me.
She's still there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where?
Yeah, it's in Amsterdam, but then but it's MB Cosmetics, Amsterdam.
Okay,
and she's a sweet, sweet
big
lady.
shout out.
Big shout out. Yeah. And she has beautiful makeup. But that was one of my first brands to work with me, and she was kind of new to Uganda. And I remember talking to her and saying, hey, I would really like to be a part of this because I liked it from the start, yeah? And she gave me an opportunity and all that to be in front of the camera multiple times. And right now, she has extended into even bigger influencers than I am right now, yeah?
Yes, yes.
And I kid you not, she has thousands and thousands of followers, yeah? And more people have bought her products. It's become a bigger brand and everything, but it's because of these people who she collaborates with, she treats nicely, she does all that stuff. So every single brand can benefit from influencers. I don't care if you're a bank. I've done influencing for a bank.
Yes.
I've done influencing for restaurants. I've done influencing for
I've done
what?
For bars.
Makeup, for bars.
Yeah.
There is no brand that doesn't need as much marketing and publicity as it can get.
Even songs right now, you find
even songs.
Music challenges and
exactly. There are
dance
people paying influencers abroad on TikTok to make
even
posts.
Here in Uganda.
For real?
Yes.
I actually
all the
don't know
Shibas
about
do
that.
it. All of them, they do it.
I didn't know about that. But yes, that's
remember
also
me, I'm in the music industry, I sing, so once in a while you'll be told, why don't you pay this influencer to come and do this
I
for
liked
you?
your song. Just give me a sample, one line I've forgotten. I promise, just one.
Come close, boy, don't be shy.
Okay. But yes, okay, back to the Mulamwa.
The Mulamwa. I wanted to ask you if for us to stay on the Mulamwa. There is this problem that we have, especially now when it comes to fashion and beauty products and all. And I think it came from the West, whereby when it came to modeling, there was a particular size that, you know, when it becomes too high,
that's a sore topic for me because I'm fat.
It's okay to be fat.
Period. And
there are people who are dying to add weight.
And fat is not an abuse. I know we should be healthy and everything, but fat has become an abuse. It's a description, guys.
Yes, it's just a description. Yes, and so, but you're very pretty. I find you very pretty.
Thank you. You're pretty as well.
Yeah, so,
nice eyes.
Thank you. Okay, let's go back to the pretty privilege.
Okay. So you were saying that there are some influencers who have managed their not being quote unquote pretty. And the question is, what exactly?
The question was your view about the pretty privilege.
Oh, that exists. It's real.
It's real.
It's 100% real. You know the term Twitter sweetheart?
Yes.
Or you what?
Yes.
Were you ever a Twitter sweetheart at one point?
Nah.
I was once a Twitter sweetheart.
Yes.
I hope they don't drag me for that.
You were,
they
but
will
you
deny.
no longer are.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You don't have to remind me. But yes, but it's very okay because there is no Twitter sweetheart that has been a Twitter sweetheart for more than, I think, a couple of months.
Yes.
But the one constant of all Twitter sweethearts is being pretty.
Being pretty.
I want to know one.
But
okay, but on a serious note.
Now when you're Twitter sweetheart, and you're pretty, and you have money, that's why you see you fed.
Okay.
Then there are those sweethearts that have been there, and you know, they've been there year in, year out, because first of all, they have money, they're pretty. I don't know what happened with you. It must be your wallet.
Do not even start with me right now. But I'm telling you for a fact, all Twitter sweethearts have a high point and they have a low point. Yeah?
Okay.
But the one thing that's a constant is that they're always pretty. So you'll be pretty you're always pretty, but there is that time when they've just discovered you.
It's a phase.
Yeah. And everyone is on your case, you know, the people are in your DMs, everyone is like, hey, this chick, hey. Yeah. But they're always pretty. But at the same time, and this cuts across in everything, even a job interview, these office jobs, Pretty privilege is real. But
Yes,
what I would like to assure people who consider themselves unpretty, ugly, I don't believe people are ugly, by the way, but you know, but whoever considers themselves that, there are people who have capitalized on that same exact thing. Okay. Yeah, I will not give examples because they'll think we are calling them ugly.
But they're there?
They're there. There are people even abroad who are on platforms super, super big because they've played into that one factor that people try to shame them for. Yeah. And in the influencing space, your creativity shines more. You tapping into that being called ugly, yeah, and you find something out of it, whether it's comedy, whether it's reviewing how makeup turns your look into something else. All that is creativity, yeah. It's not about being pretty. There are many pretty boring on the internet.
And that's right, now that drives me to something. You know, when you're a Twitter sweetheart, somehow people are involved or are interested in your life.
Yeah.
Get into your relationship.
I know where this is going.
Yes. And given that the fact that I knew you before we started working together, before you became chef to be, you said it's chef to be chef. It's not chef.
It's the right way to say.
No, it's not chef. Anyway, we were talking about the fact that someone being an influencer and their life is out there, yeah? How do they face it? Especially, it happens a lot in relationships where they need to expose who you're dating, they're trying to know what you've done. This one has cheated, this one has not cheated, this one is doing this, they're compatible. Oh my God, there is fire in the... Yeah, and given that you are a sweetheart, and when you're a sweetheart, yeah, you get into these problems. You've ever faced them, right?
Yeah.
What happened? How did you handle? Chichi, who was that?
If I start naming names, there are some tweets who I hate. And let me say this with my bold heart. I hate some tweets. And if I hate you, trust me, you're blocked.
So like you don't check.
I don't need to name names because if you know you trolled me and you check and you're blocked, then just know I hate
you. Where were they trolling you?
It was on that same topic of relationships. They've trolled me a lot on Twitter. We all know there are always moments.
Your relationship was quite popular.
I haven't been the most trolled on Twitter either. There are some people that be day in, day out. But what I'll say is, guys, love is love. When you're in love.
You're in love, were you?
You're in love. Yeah, I was in love.
Are you
when
now?
I was younger.
And now?
Kind of.
Kind of?
No, kind of no.
Kind of,
it's complicated.
Yes.
No, but no, I'm not in love. Period. Let's
shit.
What if my future husband is watching this and he has me in some complications?
Yes,
but
ever since that's kind of obvious, I've not seen you in the dating scene. I've not seen you anywhere.
Because I don't keep my mouth shut
and to date in private.
And to date in private. Like they will teach you the hard way, especially Twitter.
Had you remained a Twitter sweetheart?
Yes, by that time I was
still a sweetheart. Could it still be out there if you were now? Could it still be out there?
Yes, because typically once you put your life, that part of your life on the internet, people immediately turn their attention to
you become the sweetheart.
And I assure you, even those people who are like, oh, goals, you guys. They're the first people to celebrate. Those are the same people who are saying, Mama Pirawo is now single. Can you imagine?
Yeah, Mama Bilungo.
Mama Bilungo. That was also another one because I asked why is Christmas.
You stop giving your opinions.
And I've never stopped, you know?
You've never, even at work.
Even at work. I don't learn. But okay.
Right, go, you want names.
Okay, but for that particular period of the breakup and all that, and by the way, I have no bad blood with that person, yeah? But the way people were so, because we both handled it very maturely, me and that person, and we didn't put any of our business on the TL after like most people do. But people, and that makes people even want to know more.
Yes.
But what I can tell other influencers is let it pass. Don't engage with it. Don't try to shut it down. Let it pass. People, you will get bored. And this also happens abroad. The more you feed into it in other Western influencing scenes and other platforms and what, once you feed into it, the more people come to it. But let it slide, they'll get bored with the no response and they'll leave you alone. But that was a very traumatizing period. I remember in that period, I used to get off Twitter. I think I'm in Charlie Musirumbunga, I announced, guys, I'm going to go off Twitter for a little bit. Like, who cares? I was young. But like, no one cares.
Oh my God.
But I did it like 3 times and I had a podcast right after where someone asked me, you've left Twitter like 3 times, why?
So why?
I'm like, because I'm overwhelmed. You get on Twitter trying to run away from this heartbreak and some banker He knows himself, but he's blocked. But that person is right there saying, Mama Pilau and the boyfriend. I knew when I saw the Mama Pilau. By the way, anyway, this is a professional podcast. We shouldn't go there.
Yes, we should.
But just know, so many people troll me. Guys, it's not nice to troll. People are just in love. Things happen. Things end. But if you're ever in the position as an influencer where you put yourself out there and people troll you like that, don't feed into it, because it may even stop you from getting brand deals later on if you have a bad reputation. There are some people on the TL who, when you are in a circle getting gigs or being put on social media projects and you bring up their name, they're like, and yet they have a following and they're very influential.
I don't like to work with
She's
that
always
one.
in fights.
Yeah, no, that brings me like to something close to that. Since, there's no platform where they connect influencers and brands. So usually, like you're an influencer, they get me, or they get you, you head that project or that marketing, whereby they get to you, Leinah, and say, bring us 10 more influencers. Of which that is something Social James is going to try and work around. That you don't have to, bring in these people. Now,
just bring your friends.
Yes. Now you bring these 10 people, then all of a sudden on Twitter there is so much noise. Warren paid, this person took us, they didn't pay us. So there's that back and forth from an influencer. Let me say, like, got one main person and told them headline, gave them the money, they were actually paid. So there is delay usually also from the brand itself, minus the head of influencers, now gig plug. Gig plug.
Gig plug. Gig plug at blocking.
Gig plug takwata simu.
Toka Christmas too.
Gig plug agamba wagamba murade ani oxygen. So how do you think that should be dealt with? Because it's a serious issue. And everyone wants money.
Those are some of the things that are going into the planning as we prepare to launch Social Gems.
Okay.
We are really trying to see how do we cut out unfairness in these deals, in these gigs, let's say, in these contracts and all that.
That is
because
right.
anytime that people don't have an accounting figure, a figure there that is actually holding both ends accountable, either the influencers are doing things that the brand doesn't like or the brand is not paying, But what I can say is that format of influencing is very archaic and it's not nice. But as influencers and creators, the sound of a money opportunity, the moment you talk money, it's okay. How much are you paying me for this interview, by the way?
Leinah, this is a Social Gems thing.
We shall discuss. But like I was saying, the moment you talk about money, people immediately want to jump on it without thinking, who is the person paying, what, But all I can say is, as an influencer, try very much to put yourself in gigs and accept gigs or opportunities where you have a backing in the law, like a contract or something like that. And even then, try to go with brands. I know most of us are not approached in the beginning, especially by big brands like banks and what. But make sure you insist on a contract. And for the brands, these people are using their platforms, communities that they've built to push your products, to push your services. It's very unfair for you to not pay them. Whether you think of them as professionals or just people who are posting, guess what? They are posting for you.
Do you have names?
Of what? Brands?
Of brands.
I can't do that.
They don't pay.
They will sue me.
No, I'll back you up.
With what law degree?
I have a lawyer.
I'm not going to do that. But me personally, I've not really had a gig where they've not paid me. Me personally, I've just had. And most times it was not because of the brand not paying. The ones I've heard of, most times it was because of the person they handed that money to, the gig plug.
They refused to the gig
They went
plug.
and paid rent for a year with the money.
Imagine.
So guys, also brands, know who to trust. Sign contracts, Try to get in touch with the actual influencers that you use. Don't just go through one person who knows the general manager maybe and you give them the money. That's not right either. So that's what Social Gems, it wants to bridge that gap. We get people we can trust, brands we can trust, and put them together to thrive in the online community. Everyone wins. It's a win-win.
I don't think they're ready.
They're not.
It's
going to be groundbreaking. And those of you who are refusing to join us early,
It will be a
Moja
point.
tunon.
Because everyone at the end of the day will want to be a gem.
I know, right?
Yeah, I've loved talking
I'm
to
so
you.
excited.
Now, yeah, Chisel, I have to cut it short.
We'll talk more off camera.
More
Off camera.
Should come back on camera. Thank you guys for listening to us. It has been Leinah and Eve on behalf of Social
Gems. You should get a Leinah and Eve podcast.
Yeah, incoming.